How's it going? I don't hear anything from him. Can't hear you. Where's that? Check your mic. Can you hear me? Can I hear you? Can you hear me? Huh. It's too weird, huh? What do you think's going on? Why don't you try coming on?
Should be should be fine, but for some reason can't hear him.
Can you hear me now? No.
Check your video. Check your video. Your video is definitely on.
Mute. It's not. Is this working?
Yeah, that's on.
Huh.
Yeah. He's not talking though. He's not saying anything.
Can you hear me? Say something.
I guess he can't hear you.
Speaker's on.
Yeah, because we heard him come in.
I heard it come in.
Yeah.
Okay, that's better.
There
You
it
can
is.
hear me now.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, good. So, how's this? All the work we did on Sunday. How's that landing with you?
Yeah, I think I would say it's pretty subtle in terms of what I experienced. But then, Sunday was really intense. I could actually, uh, feel a rise in the energy, like with my energy system.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, like my spinal cord was pretty hot.
Yeah.
And maybe some work out there, and I think even internally there are some interesting things happening. There is some kind of a shift for sure, but that I think I'm kind of becoming more conscious of my choices right now. There is
What? I didn't of your.
of my choices.
Okay, gotcha. Understand.
Yeah. So I think there is some conscious attention, but I'm not able to figure out what that is. So, yeah.
So yeah, what I see is that you're going into a certain path, and the confidence level has come up. So that's a really good thing. I mean, you're confident. It's like if you listen to internally how you feel, that's the most important thing. So that's really important. So it's like you said, you could say 1,000 words but not be communicating. You always want to be communicating. Does that make sense? I mean, people talk all the time, but they're not communicating. But the key thing that we need is to be communicating, so the words land in our hearts, so we're able to, communicate. Have everything in alignment. Does that make sense? We want our words to be in alignment with who we are. And we
Exactly.
and we want to be clear on what our language is, especially around what we want to do and how we want to access that. So that's a really cool thing. So I feel that, like I said, when I see you, it's like I just see this amazing ball of light. A really person that's on to something really big. 'Cause I mean, looks like you're at the university now. Are you at the
Yeah,
university? Yeah.
this is my office, and I just finished some experiments with a few participants right now. So
Nice.
that's when, so we were just running a consciousness-related experiment, basically. The same thing that I actually worked with Angelia,
Yeah.
Angie as well. So yeah, I'm just working on that. Yeah.
What exactly is it? I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. So what we're trying to do here is that we have what's known as a random number generator. Okay. It's a small USB kind of a device.
Okay.
So that's our machine, and we're using our mind to actually influence the machine. Okay. So that's what we are doing. So the idea of the experiment is something like this. Imagine if you could actually throw a bunch of coins. Let's take 100 coins. Okay. And then throw it all together at once. So there is a 50-50 chance that, that 50 of the coins are heads and 50 of the coins turn out to be tails, right?
Okay.
So that's probabilistic. But then if you pre-state an intention, okay, you state an intention that, I want more of the heads,
yeah,
right? And then you throw them, something interesting happens. We statistically found significant results which show that we have more of the heads or more of the tails based on a pre-stated intention.
Yep. I've done that. I've done that before. It's like, when I do heads and tails with people, I always focus on what I want. And I would say 99% of the time, it turns out the way I'm putting it in. I'm not throwing down the coin either. So that's just very interesting.
Yeah. So we have something pretty similar, but it's just that, instead of doing this over and over with physical coins, we just have a system here where, you can turn out, you can throw, it's almost the equivalent of throwing like 10,000 coins per second.
Okay.
So the device makes us do that possible. And, we're just running through, different individuals with, pre-stated intentions and just checking whether we have some correlations there. So this is like, it's like a pilot study in order for us to actually, carry out a similar protocol or an experiment for, a future sophisticated experiments. So we have some really, so we're working with, we're planning on working with quantum entangled systems. So we have these, entangled systems which are produced by, light particles. Yep. And we're trying to see whether if we can actually do the same with these particles as well. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Wait, something happened. I'm not able to see you though.
Can you see me?
No. Just a second. Just give me a second. I think I just pressed something. Oh yeah. I'm good now.
Good.
Yeah. Good. So this is exactly what I'm trying to do here in the lab. Yeah.
That's awesome. Is this going to be a PhD program? Huh? That's going to be.
Well, this is like not a PhD program. This is a 1-year program that I'm into. I'm just exploring ways in which I can actually, get into related things. Whether there's a way that that we can understand consciousness, or whether there's a way that we can model this as to how this is actually happening. The mind and matter. There is, this is exactly happening at the quantum level, at the microscopic level, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like using the mind is somehow shifting the probabilities of the reality in a sense. So we still don't have a way of, modern science doesn't have a way of explaining this. So we are trying out these experiments. It's a really small step, but I think eventually we would reach our goal in order to understand the principle and the working of this, and maybe build technologies related to this.
Yeah, sounds wonderful. I mean, there was a movie called Quantum Communication. Have you seen the movie?
No.
No, Quantum. Who put out Quantum Communication, Cynthia?
I forget, but it's free now. You can see it on YouTube, I believe.
just look at quantum communication on YouTube. It talks about all these experiments and all the stuff that you're doing. It's already up there. Quantum communication.
Oh, okay.
It's great.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, they use all these different, yeah. You just look at it. I haven't looked at it in years, but it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Oh.
It's like frequency, quantum physics, and just how it's heart and mind people. I think just look up heart and mind. I mean, but the thing is, look up quantum communication, the movie, on YouTube, and you'll be able to track it down.
Okay.
It's really cool. So what I get today, I mean, I'm just going to give you a Codeum so you can feel. Let's see if we can speed up the process a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to allow you to, just get behind this, and have more of your brain available to you, so you can think faster, smarter, quicker. I mean, that's the goal, right? I mean, it's like we're in these times. We need physical things in a way. I mean, modern science does to be created so we can get to a certain place, but really we don't need those things, but science, you have to prove, you have to go through a hypothesis, and you have to prove your theoretical, then it becomes factual once you test it out enough times, and you write things out, you know how it goes. So, what we need is for you to be faster, smarter, quicker, but also develop it from a conscious point of view, and not from a it's quantum physics, and having that become into like a conscious physics. Does that make sense? So there's consciousness involved in your on your path. Does that make sense? So, so the Codeum is just to bring you that the information downloads to you, so you're able to access them. They'll come to you faster. Is that cool? Is that good?
Yeah. So I have a question in this. So when you say that this is a Codeum, right?
Yeah.
I'm just curious as to what this does. I know that it could be a certain set of numbers per se. Like that's what I heard. Like when in the meeting last time that was the first time that I heard about something called as a Codeum, and it's more like you have some amount of energy which is packed in a set of information. This information is like numbers, and when you probably say them, or when you chant them for that matter, you basically somehow derive the energy out of that. So so just correct me in saying whether if that is actually what's happening, or I'm just trying to understand what is that.
Well, it's interesting. How, I mean, from a scientific point of view, it's like we say the numbers 3 times and you activate them. Your body responds to like a new synaptic connection being created in the brain. So you have a new connection being created, and that connection creates the feelings and all those other feelings, thoughts, emotions, because it could be any one of those things. And so from there, you take that information, and your body kind of, I would say, calculates the information being brought in, and then processes it. Okay. Then you come up with an outcome. So everyone's outcome is usually different, because that's why I always ask people, they run the same Codeum, but they have a different experience. Okay. So that, I mean, from a quantum physics point of view, I would like to do some tests on that to see, exactly how it would be. I mean, you'll feel it today, and we could talk more about that next week, maybe, or something like that.
Oh, okay. That's wonderful. Okay.
Because I would love to follow up with you. I mean, because I see it from what you're doing scientifically is where I want to take this and just see exactly what's going on. I mean, I can theorize, but it would be nice to see, some testing to see.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And
I think I'm also in that phase where I'm trying to bridge these two things. On one level, yes, there is information and science, whereas on the other hand, you have experience and consciousness related phenomenon.
Exactly.
So you have the physical and the non-physical merging here, and that's where even I am probably stuck between in the way in which my path is leading me. So yeah.
I mean, so it's it's like we all meet each other for a reason. So I always believe,
Yeah.
there's no coincidences, and I find you intriguing. I mean, there's a lot of things that intrigue me. I mean, just about what you're doing. So and that's why
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to introducing my son to you for sure, because he would love to be doing this after, especially come back from Africa. He gets back from Africa on Wednesday night. So
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I think you have a good friend. I mean, I don't want to say that, but I just have a feeling.
Okay.
So, so I'll come. So what we're gonna do is a process now. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of channel in your numbers for this exercise. I'll write down the numbers, and then I'll say it once. You'll say it once. I'll say it once. You'll say it once. I'll say it once. You'll say it once. And we'll say activate, enhance, and then amplify. But let me just come up with the numbers because they just come to me. They just come to me, and then we'll go with that frequency, what it is. So it's 4.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So your numbers,
Yes.
then, okay,
Yes.
is 483-769.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I can just kind of feel the energy off of that already. This is kind of interesting. So
Yeah.
483-769.
483-769.
483-769.
483-769.
483-769.
483-769.
Activate.
Activate.
Enhance.
Enhance.
Amplify.
Amplify.
Whoa.
Activate. Amplify. Wow.
You feel that?
Yeah, there is like a very interesting balancing effect which just happened with me. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's very subtle. I'm just like a beginner in this though, in order to experience this. But nevertheless, it's a pretty balancing effect. Like I was all over the place since yesterday, but now yeah, there is some kind of an effect.
You look different. You should see. You look different. You look more like something. And what they're calling this is the applied physics Anatonian Codum. So I don't know if you want to write that down.
Okay.
Applied physics Anatonian Codum. They always have interesting words for stuff.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, you look like woo. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, and they're saying just run that when you want to access like this infinite knowledge of physics from a like a much higher place. Let's say they'll go over that with you later time, but from a much higher place, you might have some interesting downloads when you sleep. And just they're telling you just write stuff down when you get the information.
Oh, okay.
Because I mean, as you can feel, it almost opens up a part of you, to be open to something,
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to run it again? Let's run it again. See.
Yeah, sure.
483-769.
483-769.
483-769.
483-769.
483-769.
483-769.
Activate.
Activate.
Enhance.
Enhance.
amplify.
Amplify.
Wow. That's even more powerful.
Wow.
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 Yeah. They're saying this. They're also saying before you run an experiment, see if you can run it. You're right. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it's, I don't know, there's something happening here though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, like I said, I mean, I think that it'd be great to work with you to see what exactly what it's doing.
Hmm.
You know,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because it almost feels like it's a switch of a brainwave. The brain it goes from like go from alpha to theta.
Okay.
Almost. That's instantaneously, almost into a beta.
Uh-huh.
Because it's almost like when you're in the beta, you can. That's when you're in like a dream state, right? So
Hmm. Hmm.
So, I mean, you're going in between the theta and the beta. That's what I think to get this information out. The code actually pushes like a button in your brain to
Yeah.
create that, to put you into a different state of consciousness.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just saying that,
Okay. So is this something like, I run this before I run any experiments or?
What do you think? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that's the thing. But this is free will, free choice. I mean, look at your eyes go up. But yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I would say
Okay.
yes. But I mean, it's entirely up to you. I just think you might be much more open
Yeah.
to the consciousness coming around the experiments.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
I mean, you can see. I mean, the Codeums work like a Codium is for you. I mean,
Uh-huh.
it's personal. A Codium is for like everyone.
Okay.
So it's like when you have a Codium, what this is, you can. This is yours. Okay, so it's like a Codeums, which we're running the other day. That's for everyone. So that makes sense. It's like one's plural, one's for you.
Uh-huh.
So this is more of like a singularity in time and space. So it's like a.
Yeah. And I kind of feel that, these numbers, this 4, 8, 3, 7, 6, 9, there are these interesting numbers here. And there are these numbers which are actually really connected to me in a certain sense.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like a really interesting connection here because there is 3, 6, 9, and 7 as well in between. Uh, it's pretty interesting. I have like all these numbers. I also have all these numbers in my phone number,
Oh
apparently.
wow.
Yeah. Uh, so my phone number starts with 7, and you have 3, and you have 8, and you have 6 and 9 in between that.
Yeah, that's happened a lot of times when I work with people. It's just like I know these numbers, and it's like, how'd you know that? It's like I didn't. I just kind of came to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so it's just very interesting. The work is interesting. I mean, as far as like explaining it scientifically,
Hmm.
I do the best I can. I don't really have much
Yeah.
data to run up on.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
feel different things. It's more the consciousness that's around it is my data. When people are conscious around their Codeums or Codeums, they're able to really live better lives because they have. It almost puts you into a different thought patterning, a different consciousness
Hmm.
around everything you're doing. Okay, so I mean
Okay.
that's the thing. I mean, we have books of code. We do have in books, but it's very interesting.
Okay.
So it's
Wow. Hmm.
so
Wow. So I probably just use this in certain. Uh, so I guess I'll start playing with it and
yeah, exactly. I mean, then just take some data down with it. That's kind of my.
yeah.
I just need the input. The input's good because we know you from that we can start looking at other stuff. Input creates a log, and we can start taking our hypothesis and creating actual data behind what we're doing.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
I'll work on this. So yes, I'll create some data logs and see how this goes. Yeah.
Yeah, please, and because the thing is, like, especially around your experiments,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
yeah, sounds good, man.
So yeah, and so there was something really interesting which also happened when Angie came here to our lab and she was performing some experiments. And so we run two different kinds of trials. And so this is basically like a random number generator. So we have an experiment trial and a control trial. So what happens during the control is that Angie was allowed to actually influence the device the way she wanted to influence it.
Okay.
So halfway through the experiment, so it comprises of 10 trials in a given run. So halfway through, she had somehow become one with the devices, and she used her Codeums,
Okay.
apparently, and she actually ran it through her, and she connected with the device, and then there was some kind of like a shift and a deviation, right? So that's what we're looking at. It shifts from the mean value and like the actual random value. It goes away from it.
Yep.
Whereas when she actually, so after the fifth trial, she actually started using her Antonian device, which is specifically the thing. So she actually opened it up, and she, how you take the blueprint of individual systems, and then you try and balance the blueprint, right?
Yep.
So it was very interesting that she actually took that and she took the blueprint, and as the device usually balances the system, we could actually see that in the graph, like when it's in the middle, when it's in baseline, it essentially means that it's completely random,
Okay.
right? So initially she had made it go up and above using her intentions, but as soon as she came up with the device and she used it on this, it immediately shot down to baseline. Like, it was normalized.
Okay.
Like, as
Yeah.
as we actually observe it in most of most of the treatments that she does, right?
Yep.
So she takes blueprints and normalizes it somehow.
Yep.
So it was very interesting to observe that physically with this. But again, it was done with only with just one or two graphs.
Yep.
We don't have enough data, but that was something really interesting to observe, actually. Yeah.
That's great. I like to come up there to your lab and check it out, man.
Yeah, you should actually. So I will actually send you. I have your email ID now, so I'll send you all the information, and just let me know, and we can.
Maybe the 12th, Monday the 12th. I mean, are you available the 12th?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I'll have my son with me. He and I both come up. Maybe Cynthia will come up too if she's in town. But but the 12th would be, because we might have to meet someone else at NOAA. Just get it all done,
Oh, okay. That's great.
Because I want to get him going here. I mean, like I said, even in your lab, I mean, just you never know, man.
Yeah. We can just, definitely we can meet up and, we can discuss things and we'll see how things goes. Yeah.
Yeah, go. That'd be awesome, man. Because I mean, I think a job like that for him, like what you're doing, he would love that. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He just graduated. He just, like I say, he's traveled all over the world. He's ready to do something. He wants to do something for humanity. He's totally about that. And
okay.
He has a real scientific mind. He understands physics, and he's extremely educated. Just graduated from UBC, University of British Columbia. So he's, and he wants to find his way. He doesn't know what he wants to do weather. He doesn't know if he wants to, but he's very much into the energy of things.
Wow.
He has been since he was a kid. He was running Codeums with me when he was 8 years old. So,
okay.
So but he kind of got away from it once he got into the public education here. So, I mean, he went to the program, so he kind of got away from.
Yeah.
I get it, I do. But now he has the education, is going back to the energy work, and I think it'd be great for him to, do something on that. He wants to do something on that level, but so we should just talk about it and see where it goes, man.
Yes, definitely. Yes, we'd love that. So yeah, we can just let me know. Just text me the time when you're here, and we can catch up.
And we'll definitely follow up. That's the 12th, but I mean, let's follow up next week. Let's we can do another Zoom call, you know, and
Okay.
and I don't know exactly what my schedule is next week, but once I know by Sunday or Monday, I'll give you. By all means, text me anytime.
Okay.
You feel like
Thank you.
You feel like a son to me. You do, man. You really do. I mean, we get very interesting energy.
Yeah.
It's very cool. So let's let things just prosper and
Sure.
and move. You know. And that can help humanity out. You know, that's what this is all about. So the work that we're doing is not discounted, and the work that we're doing can actually go out there and people can get something out of it if they're open to it. It's not that we can, you know, I always find that energy work, if people aren't open to it, don't waste your time. You know, if people are open to it and they're ready for it, key thing here, they're ready for it, then it just makes the work so much, you don't have to convince anyone. It's there. They're wanting to learn it, and they just want to be open to it, and they will take your learning, and it'll go down a road that's usually very good for you and for them. So it's good. So
yeah, sure. That's
well,
great.
Wonderful, mate. Have a wonderful night.
Yeah.
You know, text me tomorrow. Tell me how you feel. I mean, I'm just curious. You know, just text me tomorrow. Just because I'm all about people saying, you know, this is working and this isn't. If it's not doing what we're saying, let's come up with something that does work. Codeums are like that. It's like the body may become immune to the formulation or whatever. So it's just, you know, it's like everything else. You put it into the body becomes used to something that wants something else. But maybe you don't need that other thing. Maybe you just need a little modification in what you're doing to make it work. You know, I mean, you know, you know, I view Codeums as like mathematics. You know, sometimes there's a lot of different ways to derive the same answer. So you have to be very open to what those answers are.
What those answers are. Yeah, that's right.
You know, so, well, man, it's been great working with you. So I'll see you definitely on the 12th. And we'll just see where this all goes. I think, you know, I'm excited. You know?
Great. Yeah, sure.
Okay, mate. Have a good night.
Yeah, thank you. Good night. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, see you.